pattern available for the Split Toe Knife Sheath, the EDC patterns. You cut it out, then you use a drive punch to punch the hole at the top of the split toe. Next, you trace the pattern onto your leather. On the outside edge, I leave a little extra room on the back side. I trim it out. And so it looks like that. So the whole welt shape on the outside will be about that big. I'll make this just a little bit bigger here so I got plenty of room to sew. So I'll put her on pause again while I cut that out. Cut out, it looks like this. And you can see it goes in like so, comes up here, and then flips in. So when you're trying to pull it out, you end up having to overcome that little bit of pressure on the cam right there. Make sense? Now the next step, because I want to make sure I know where to apply the glue on the inside, as I trace this out like so. That way I know where to put my glue when I'm gluing. And I don't end up with glue in here where it shouldn't be. I can flip this over and do it exactly the same on the other side. Finish trimming this out here. Like so. Okay, the one thing you do need to do is skive this down just a little bit on this side. You can use a potato peeler or a round knife or whatever your favorite skiving tool is. And I'm going to reduce it from here to about half the thickness. My next step is I'm going to put some glue on this thing, and I'm going to glue this side first because I'm going to roll this over onto this side. Okay, I got my belt loop stitched down. So the next part is putting my welt on and making sure it's all the way out to the edge like I want it to be. That's going to help minimize sanding, unnecessary sanding, and all those sorts of things. Okay. All the way out there to the edge, like so. I'm gonna tap it with a hammer. I've already put some moisture in here to make it fold easier. I'm gonna fold it over, match up that front edge, like so. That there, and if I have this in the right spot, it's going to line up without no trouble. I can fold that over and down she goes, just like it's supposed to. Move that just off screen so I can tap her down like so. Then I'll just have to trim that off. Now, for sewing purposes, I kept the welt portion that I cut out, and the reason I did that is so I can make that a little bit skinnier. I can shove that down in there so when I'm sewing, it doesn't want to tip. My presser foot is touching a solid surface. Okay, so since it's glued and tapped down, the knife goes in like so, pushes in, and locks in, just like that. So when she comes out like that. So, okay, I'm gonna go stitch it up quick. Okay, here it is stitched. And the edge has got a little bit of a burnish started. It's been trimmed and beveled. And the knife goes in, like, stuck harder than I thought it would. Okay, it was a little bit sticky. And what I did was, I ran my glue all the way out to here. Well, if it's on the welt and both sides, this is going to glue solid. So when you're running your glue, don't run it all the way out to that little tip there. Keep all your glue on this side of the line. If that makes sense. That way this has a little bit of room to move side to side. So the knife goes in and comes out easy enough. So it's got, this is flexible, so the hilt of the knife can push past it. And that's it. Oh, the quick story about how this came into being. Young Jake down at EDCLeather was making me had told me a story about he had gone hunting with some of his buddies or something, and when he got home, he was looking at his hunting knives and found that the blade was all, looked like somebody took a hammer to it and beat it all to hell. And I've always been a big fan of these Mora Swedish-made knives, and I've got 2 or 3 of them around here all the time. So I had built this. I have a preference for split toe cases, so I built this case and sent him a knife, his choice, green or blaze orange, and we did some horse trading for a stamp that he made me. So that's kind of how that is, and they liked it so much they decided to turn it into a pattern. So the pattern for the sheath and the part number for the knife and its source and all that stuff will be available on EDCleather's webpage. Got any questions? Give me a shout.